Are you a photographer in the early stages of your business and you're frustrated because you're just not getting enough clients? I went from 0 bookings to fully booked out through 4 strategies that I'm dishing with you today so that you can do it too. And if you stay to the end, I'll tell you exactly what to add on to your marketing strategy so that you can stay fully booked as well without the hustle. Ready to learn how to get fully booked out as a beginner photographer? I got you. Hey, I'm Tracy and I help boudoir photographers stay forever booked out. Be sure to grab my free PDF. It lays out my 5 best tips for booking out your schedule without Facebook ads. Part 1 of my fully booked out formula: focus on building a photography website that is very easy to navigate. Yes, this comes before Facebook. This also comes before Instagram. You need to have somewhere to send your leads and potential clients, not just in your DMs. Besides, a website makes you look legit. If a business only has a Facebook page, I'm probably gonna move right on to the next option, you know? I tell all my clients that a photography website needs 5 pages.
I really think you should have the homepage, which we're on. And while we're talking about it, I really think it's important to have your keyword right here in the front. So I have St. Louis and St. Charles Premier Luxury Boudoir Photography Studio. Really, what I should probably have is St. Louis Boudoir Photography Studio and St. Charles Boudoir Photography Studio, which I will probably be changing soon. But I'm also in the process of considering moving my studio to Southern Illinois. So right now this is what we're doing until I decide to make any changes. So a homepage gives your leads a really good overview of your business with some really good SEO, which we just talked about, the St. Louis Boudoir Photographer. The next page you want to have is an about page. This about page is going to be more about your ideal client and less about you. You want to focus on what they need to do to book you over everyone else. Now, I promise that they don't care who you studied with or if you've been published in a magazine, unfortunately. So what I really want you to focus on is the client in this situation. So notice how I say explore your confidence, beauty, and power with a boudoir experience you'll never forget. And then I'm going down and I'm talking more about like Snapchat, Photoshop, Facetune, like the perfectly curated social media accounts where we always feel like we're never enough. And then I just like go more into that. Then I have a video of how the session actually will go. And then I talk more about my actual service and how I'm going to get them really comfortable really quickly. And then I have a little tiny bit about me towards the end. I do have a little bit about like who I've studied with just for like social proof, but then a little bit about me so they can get to know me. But that's your about page. The third page you need is your investment page. And this is about the session. It's more, you're giving them the juicy details about it. So I'm giving them all the information about how a session is going to go, what they're going to get with the session, how the actual ordering session goes afterwards. I have a little bit of testimonial for some more social proof, and then how the session actually works with some reviews again. And then this is where you put your frequently asked questions. That's another important thing. I don't think that you need a FAQ page. Put it at the bottom of the investment page. Now this is the 4th page, which is the gallery page. Now, here's a big hint for your gallery page. If you want to sell albums, you have to show albums. You don't just want to add your favorite photos here. Like, I do have a personal faves like album, but really what you want is to have albums so that they can actually see and visualize albums and like think about having an album after the session. So we can go into Allie's album and you can see we can actually scroll through the album so that they can start thinking about what an album is going to look like in what they will look like in the album, you know? And so in every single album, it's just how the album is laid out so they can also start thinking about how they might want theirs laid out. And then of course you also need a contact page. So here is that. And that's all you really need. I have a little bit of extra in Forever Booked Out, my program. I actually tell you exactly how I set up my websites and why. I have a little bit more because my business is a little bit further along than it was a few years ago when I first started. So I've had to add some pages like my education page, my studio rental, and I do have gift cards, and then the freebie and booking a session I do think are very important, as well as the blog. But those 5 main pages are the ones you have to have as a boudoir photographer.
And by the way, if you want to know how I made $35K in 4 days, make sure you check that video out next. Now, once you have your website up and running, it's time to drive traffic to your website. Did you know that a good website conversion rate is only 1 to 5%? With a 1% conversion rate, if you want to just book 10 clients a month, you have to have 1,000 visitors every single month. So that means we better get to work. And that brings us to the second part of the fully booked out formula. The second thing you need to do to book out your schedule as a beginner photographer is optimize your photography website for Google with SEO. The best leads come from Google. These leads usually have their credit cards out and they're ready to pay you like yesterday. Think about it. They're already searching for what you offer, literally searching boudoir photography near me. And did you know that 75% of searchers are never scrolling past that first page on Google? That's why you have to rank number 1 for your keywords. You can't afford to be ranking on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th page, especially not if you need 1,000 leads or more on your website each month. And while you're optimizing your keywords for Google, make sure you also set up your Google Business profile. This is also known as a Google My Business account. A Google My Business profile is like when you're doing a local search. It's how you show up on Google Maps, like with the ratings and the reviews about the business. We've all seen it, right? This will help you be seen locally. And right now, so many of my boudoir photographer clients, they are having so much success with these profiles. So make sure that you set yours up completely. And by the way, I have a podcast episode dishing all about my favorite Google Business profile hacks. Make sure you click that link and check it out. The third part of my booked out formula that you need to do to book out your schedule as a beginner photographer, you have to show up and engage on Instagram. I know that I said that should not be your priority, but it also should be something that you actually do. At this point, you have your website ready to go. So now what we're doing is focusing on your social media. I'm gonna skip Facebook. I think you should be on it. But for photographers, I really feel like Instagram is where it's at. Every day you need to post on Instagram. Yes, every day. And then I want you to spend 1 hour a day, on the business days at least, engaging, liking, commenting, and DMing ideal leads so that you can actually grow your Instagram.
Okay, I'm here in my own Instagram on my boudoir page, and what I'm doing is going to show you exactly how to search for some potential clients that you can start engaging with on Instagram. So Soulard is an area that a lot of the younger crowd actually goes to hang out, and so what I'm doing is just searching to see if there's anyone on here that actually really looks like somebody that I would photograph. So I just literally scroll. Here we go. And then nope, I don't think so. Keep going. And this girl would definitely be my ideal client. So I'm going to go in, like, comment a little bit. Like, that dog is so cute. Scroll a little bit. So I'm just liking some photos. And then I think I recorded this yesterday. So I think that I go back up here and I comment because I think her puppy is adorable. So I comment, and then I will leave that comment there, follow her, and then I'm going to go keep engaging. So it's really good to engage for like an hour a day, like 5 days a week, maybe even 3 days a week. And then just keep doing the same thing. I'm not going to make you guys watch any more of this, but you kind of get the idea. You're liking, commenting, and DMing your potential clients.
Promise this strategy works. I used it in 2016 to 2017 to grow mine, and my coaching clients are using it now to grow theirs. But when you're engaging, here's the trick. You are not pitching. We are not DMing them and asking them to book a session. No, we are not doing that. You're literally just engaging with them and getting to know them. Let them ask you about a session, and they will, once they trust that you are not going to try to talk them into a session. And the fourth part of my booked out formula to book out your schedule as a beginner photographer is to attend a bridal fair as a wedding vendor. Bridal fairs are such great ways to book out your schedule. So great, in fact, that at my very first bridal fair, I booked 17 sessions from one show. And the best part, these shows also grow your email list. And these leads are super, super qualified. Actually, my most popular podcast shares how exactly I booked out 17 sessions at this one bridal fair. I'll link that above as well. And I hope that now you're convinced to be listening to my podcast. And now for my bonus tip. Once your photography schedule is fully booked out, it's time to add in blogging and email marketing to your strategy. The reason that I love and I firmly believe a blogging strategy is very important is because of SEO. Blogs that I wrote years ago are still getting traffic to this day. And on top of that, it's one of those strategies that I use to make sure that I don't have to constantly repeat myself over and over again while I'm helping my clients prep. I really hate saying things over and over again. Anybody else? So what I do instead is just send them over to the blog and then they come to the studio fully prepared. And let's talk email marketing. I mentioned email marketing when I talked about the bridal fair strategy. You get the show list, so it's a really great way to grow your email list with super qualified leads. What you want to do is use your email list so that you nurture them and stay top of mind, so that when they're ready for a session, you are the first person that they think about. And that's exactly how to get booked out as a beginner photographer this year. Be sure to subscribe to be notified for my next video. It's on my 5 best tips for your next outdoor boudoir session. If this was helpful, be sure to let me know and give it a like. We'll see you next time. Yeah, we will. Say bye. Say bye. Bye.